Hi everybody, it's Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours, and you're watching me on my YouTube channel. Welcome to April. I'm a few days late in getting this video out, making it on April the 5th. No, actually it's April the 6th, it's the Thursday, I think it's the 6th. So there's a reason why it's late actually, not just because I've been busy, but because I have been, like you, affected by the energies over the last few days. Feels like the weekend was big, energetically, and just like we've been on a roller coaster and went into a bit of a dip of energy in terms of just feeling sluggish and lacking energy, lacking motivation, not really lacking direction, because I tend to be quite good at that because I've got Metatron as the guide, but yeah, just lacking physical energy, feeling quite sloth-like, and it's not really my nature to be like that. So I just respected it and let my body do what it wanted to do, which was rest and sleep, and wanted to make this video, and was really called to talk about fire as an energy. Not just because we're in Aries season, although that is partly because of it, also because I am sitting beside this extraordinary painting that arrived in my house yesterday, and I knew was going to be arriving in my house yesterday. It's like I was waiting for its energy to help lift me so I could even give this message to you. And I'm sitting here not actually knowing what I'm going to say, so again, let's just see what comes through. The painting, I'll just say at the offset, is done by a friend of mine called Angie Ricketts, and I will put her website in the description box below. I'm not making any money out of promoting her paintings, by the way. This is just that she's a friend, and I like to support my friends, and I also like to support people who have extraordinary talent, and you can see the power of this. I mean, I'm sitting here and it's like, I'm hot. It's like I'm really hot, because the energy here in this room with all of the guides that are flooding in and this painting is quite something. Yeah, so it's for sale. You can look at her website and have a look at that. So I'm blessed to have it on loan, really. I will just say that I keep feeling I want to call it a she, but of course the fire energy is traditionally a masculine energy linked to the sun. Although how can it be, really, because we all have fire. Most of us have got some fire in our chart, and you know, I'm a woman, and for example, I've got, what have I got? I looked it up. I've got Mars in Scorpio, so a bit of the Mars energy is fire, and I've got Saturn in the midheaven in Aries as well. So I have got a bit of fire, even though I've got a very watery chart, and I'm female, so you know, I will interpret the fire energy in a female way. So to me, she feels feminine, but I know Angie painted her as more of a masculine energy. But yeah, in her hands here, we've got, this is a dragon's egg that she's holding here with a little baby dragon inside. You can just make it out. It's like an embryonic state. So she's holding the dragon energy, and she's also obviously holding the energy of fire and is surrounded by fire as well. I want to backtrack a little bit though, because there've been all sorts of signs that I needed to do this video. And maybe you can piece together some of it for me as well. I love reading your comments, by the way. I'm sorry that I can't always reply to everyone. There's just too many to comment on each one. That and my Facebook page. It would be a full-time job if I just responded to everything. But I do read them, and I thank you for them and keep them coming. So yeah, a couple of things that have happened. Linked into crystals, actually, more than anything. Those of you that follow my Facebook page know that I put up a crystal that had broken on me at the start of the week, which is my fire agate pyramid. Okay, this is a 5-sided pyramid actually, and the top of it has broken. Okay, so it's lost its top part of its apex, or whatever you call it, I can't remember what the actual official word is. The top of it's broken. And that was sitting out on my balcony, and I often charge them. I've got a balcony, so it was charging in moonlight. And I brought it in, and I was really sad. I thought, oh, the top's gone off it. And it's fire, because fire agate, obviously, this is one of the crystals that I use within my, when I make up the crystal energy for the sprays. So that happened, and then another crystal broke, and I've got a friend on Facebook, Marcus, and he said, oh, jokingly, because I have got a sense of humour, he's still, you've got to be more careful with your crystals. I understand that. But look what's happened. 2 days later, my red jasper dragon, red jasper dragon, again, this is used in the making of the fire spray. It's lost its tail. And I tell you, all I was doing here was I was just dusting my windowsill, and this fell on carpet. Okay, it fell on carpet and it broke, and the tail's off the dragon. So the dragon's tail has been chopped off, and the top of the pyramid has also come off. So I thought, okay, there's something going on here. What is this about? When I saw that the dragon tail had come off, it was a very scorpionic type energy to me. It was as though the sting in the tail had been taken out of something. Make of that what you will. The pyramid, having been decapitated, felt as though something was being released, maybe old patriarchal energy. Don't know. But anyway, we'll see, maybe some more information comes through in this video on those two. I will just show you another crystal that I've got here. This one isn't broken, thank God. This is copal, okay? And I wanted to read to you a little bit about copal because I feel it's very helpful for us at this moment in time. And I got it up on my screen, so I'm just wanting to have a look. It's actually a tree resin copal. So here we go. That's what it looks like. And it's really odd because when you tap it, it actually sounds a bit like plastic. It's not. It's actually tree resin, and it marries the invigorating power of the sun with the grounding properties of earth. Oh, okay. A powerful, nevertheless gentle healer and purifier. Okay, I saw this in my room today, just as I was about to come and make this video, and it was screaming at me. It was saying, I want to be included in the video. And I thought, okay. And now I understand why, because we're in Aries season. We're about to go into the Taurus season later on in April. Aries is fire, sun, and Taurus is earth. This crystal, or copal, if you call it a crystal, contains the element of the sun, i.e. fire, and it contains the properties of earth. So it's perfect. It's really perfect for us at this moment in time to help us balance our own fire energies. Okay. Right. Let's see what we're going to do. I think what I'm going to start with, I'm going to spray the fire energy. Okay, and this is the orange fire dragon. There's also I do them in different colours. I've also got a yellow one here. Okay, and I've also got a gold. The gold was more of a limited edition, but we've got gold, red and yellow dragons here. And I'm just feeling I want to spray the orange dragon, so being careful not to spray it on Angie's painting. Let's just put this around myself and feel for a message from fire, welcoming in the energy of Archangel Metatron. Fire. He's in a playful mood today. I'm hearing The Crazy World of Fire by Arthur Brown. I hated that song as a child. My father used to play it. It's a song from the 1960s. And I used to, Metatron's reminded me, I used to find it very threatening. It is quite a threatening song. I need to just play you one line of it. There's quite a maniacal, it's quite manic. I'm not going to play the whole song. I just want to give you the energy of what I'm tuning into.
And I bring you fire.
actually. It's great, isn't it? But it is manic, and it's, as a child I was really freaked out by that song. It's all coming back to me now. Stop it, Metatron, he's giving me loads of songs today. He's trying to lighten it, because actually this is a really dense, heavy energy. I mean, that song's he's quite scary. Fire's quite a threatening thing. The lyrics to that, actually, I might put them up in the description box below. They're quite interesting as well. You know, fire is, when it's out of control, it's destructive. It's a destroyer. Of course, it's a purifier as well, but I want to talk first about the negative aspects of fire as something that destroys. Anger, hate, frustration, but anger and hate in particular. There's been an uprising of anger within a lot of us recently. In London, we've got this crime wave that's just out of control at the moment. This is more in terms of, you know, the inner city, parts of London that I've lived in myself. Some of the crime seems to be centred around East London. There was one in Walthamstow. I used to live in Walthamstow years ago when I was a student. It really saddens me. And it seems to be related to gangs, you know, gang warfare. There's an extraordinary number of young people that have died this year in London, inner city London. Knife attacks in particular. There's some gun-related crime as well. But it's like, we've got to get a grip on it. You know, someone's got to get a grip on that, because it's this uprising of angry youth, basically. And it's out of control, and it's the fire energy when it's out of control. So we're seeing it on the collectives. We're seeing it in London, but we're seeing it also in many other places around the world. I mean, come on, take your pick, really. But we're seeing it within ourselves, and we're feeling it within ourselves as well. I think you're probably nodding your head in agreement at the moment, because I know that there's been an uprising of anger and frustration for many of us, and particularly, you know, those of us on our spiritual path. And anger is one of these emotions that nobody likes to look at. You know, it's like no one likes to admit that they are angry. We like to imagine that we are, you know, sitting in this Zen-like state all of the time. None of us do. That's why I've got a bit of an issue at the moment with a lot of the stuff that's out there on the event. I mean, I'm being triggered by it. I'm being honest with you. I'm being triggered by some of the stuff that's out there at the moment. There's one particular YouTuber who, I shouldn't really watch it because I'm being triggered, but, you know, they're just like lying underneath a mango tree, you know, experiencing the waves of bliss. And there's part of me that just wants to say, wake up, you know? Yeah, the waves of bliss are there, but also open your eyes to what's actually out there in the world. There's still an awful lot wrong. There's still an awful lot to heal. And there's still an awful lot to heal probably within yourself as well, and within me, you know, within all of us. So this anger's coming up for a reason. Anger can be about many different things. Sometimes it can be justified, and it can be the fuel that we need to propel us forward, to move us out of stagnant situations. Do you remember in my last video, I think I ended, but Metatron brought through this message, which was stagnation is no longer an option. Okay, well, if stagnation is no longer an option, some of us are digging our heels in and actually getting really, sorry about the language, pissed off with spirit, because it's like, actually, I quite like my comfort zone. I feel safe within my comfort zone. I don't want to do what you're wanting me to do, you know? I want to stay here. I want to stay small. And spirit, Metatron in particular, is saying, no, you can't. You know, I'm not going to let you, because I can see the power that is within you. And I can also see the amazing satisfaction and joy and happiness that you're going to feel when you step out of your self-imposed comfort zone. And we're digging our heels in. A lot of us are digging our heels in. So there's that aspect of the this fiery anger energy at the moment. But also, I'm a great believer that sometimes when we get very depressed, when we get very down, it can be about, often it's about suppressed emotions. And anger in particular is an emotion that a lot of us suppress. We don't like to look at. We don't like to admit it's there. And if you suppress it, what do? It becomes like the volcano. and it becomes like this simmering lava within ourselves that can become really, really toxic. And it can absolutely make us ill, it can make us depressed, and it can take, it's not that we're just quelling the fire energy within ourselves, but we're pushing down that light that wants to shine brightly. And so we have to learn how to look at our own anger and channel our own anger. And somebody on Facebook the other day said, well, how do we do that? And I think, again, we look for very complex answers to that it has to be very difficult. You know, that's because none of us know how to do it. It isn't. I really don't think it is. For me, what do I do when I feel angry? Well, I don't throw plates anymore. I confess, in my, how old would I have been? Late 20s. I was late 20s, and I was in a marriage that I was extremely unhappy in, and we were terribly ill-suited to each other, and I hadn't learnt a lot of the stuff that I know now, and we both were quite fiery, and there was nobody there to diffuse it, so we just used to have these arguments that used to escalate. And I remember once I was so angry with Adrian, I just threw this plate across the kitchen at him. Fortunately, I missed his head. But in the moment when the plate shattered on the floor, I thought, Amanda, you've actually got a bit of a problem here. You know, you shouldn't have done that. And it's taken quite a few years to mellow that side of myself. And it is mellowed now. I know how to, well, I don't feel that angry anymore, basically. But, you know, of course it can rise up from time to time like it can with you. What do I do when it rises up? For me, it's quite simple. I'll put on something like, I'll put on a very powerful piece of music often. And it's often something which has got a bit of balls to it, basically. You know, it's a fiery piece of music. It could be anything. It could be something like Eminem. Is that how you pronounce his name? Sorry, embarrassing mum moment there. Don't even know how to pronounce his name. I don't know. It's individual to me, and you will have your own piece of music that you stick on. What's that one? What's that piece of music that he did? There's a video of Obama, and he's like limbering up to it just before a speech as well. It's a great angry piece of music, and it's good. It's good to listen to. It channels it. Go for a run. Go for a swim. Get outside. Get outside. You know, go dancing, do something, move. You know, it's about moving. Anger as an energy wants to find release. Sex, if you want to have sex, have sex. You know, you shouldn't obviously have sex when you're feeling particularly angry, but that's more of a preventative thing to stop you from maybe getting into that very frustrated, angry state in its own right. I don't know. You have to find your own thing, but you have to do something. So yeah, anger, one aspect of this fiery energy. But I also feel at the moment, I want to talk about the positive things with regard to the fire energy. Because, you know, it's linked to the sun, and my God, living here in England in winter, and it's been a really long winter, there has been so much greyness and rain and cloud and cold, and you wake up today and let me tell you, seeing that sun, it is just like, my thank God. And it's the fire energy, and it brings us back to life. I was thinking this morning how it probably is a lot easier if you live in somewhere like California, to be honest. You know, and you've got this lovely sunshine every day, and you want to maybe go and have a juice, and you want to go and eat a healthy salad, and you want to go for a run to the beach. I tell you what, when you're living in greyness and darkness a lot of the time, you don't want to do that. You want to eat comfort food, okay? And you want to hibernate. As soon as that sun comes out, as soon as that fire energy is there, you want to get out in it. Okay, that's what the sun does. That's what the energy of fire does. It motivates us. It makes us feel alive, okay? And the whole thing about it is you have to allow it to flow. We talk about the energy of flow a lot with regard to the element of water, don't we? We're always talking about water and flow, and we understand how water can flow. We understand how water can get blocked. We understand the many different analogies we can give. Dams bursting, tidal waves, you know, drought. We understand water as an energy in terms of when it's flowing and when it's not, and within ourselves as well, because water is to do with emotions. But we need to start thinking about fire in the same way, in terms of it needing to find flow in your life. And movement is a huge part of that. So let's pull a couple of cards at this point, and the ones I was guided to bring, I've got a few different decks behind me, but the ones I was guided to bring in, I think I'm going to use first. Yeah, these, the Native Spirit cards by Denise Linn. Okay, so let's just pull a few cards from here, and of course these contain all of the elements, because it's very hard to look at just one element on its own, because everything is connected. But let's just see. Let's ask Metatron for some messages here for April, linked into what we're talking about, or maybe we'll go in a different direction. I don't know. Maybe we'll go in a different direction. Isn't that interesting? I just said that. Because again, the fact that stagnation is no longer an option, the fire energy is here to try and motivate us to move, may very well mean that you have to go in a different direction, whether within your own mind or whether within your own life, okay? A lot of people are at crossroads. A lot of people are also at dead ends, where they are being forced to change. They're being forced to move. And, you know, we need that fire energy behind us to really push us. And thank God for it, actually, you know. Okay, 2 cards to start with. Which 2? That one. And that one. White Buffalo and Dream Traveller. And on the bottom of the deck, I knew this would be here, is Warrior of the Heart, the polar bear. The polar bear comes up all the time, doesn't it? Those of you that follow my videos, how many times do we see the polar bear? The polar bear, to start with, you know, linking back to what I've said before on earth changes, what the polar bear does is he or she tries to move and flow to new territory as the sun and the warmth of the planet brings melting to areas which have sustained its life before now. So it goes in search of food. It travels far, actually, to survive. But it does so with a warrior's spirit. Warrior of the heart. The polar bear, it feels as though the energy coming through from the polar bear today is saying it will do anything and everything to survive. It will walk the furthest miles. It will dig deep into its resources. It is and will be a predator when it needs to be. Can you just feel the strength of that animal? Can you feel the resilience of that animal? Can you feel the power of that animal? Can you feel the fire in its belly? That it will do anything it can to survive. Despite anything that's happening around it with the world, which may very well be out of its control, it will persist till the bitter end. And hopefully there isn't an end. But that's just the energy coming from it. Warrior of the heart. We need to find that within ourselves. And then we've got the white buffalo. The white buffalo with the polar bear. And I'm going to actually read the message that goes with white buffalo, because I'm not a shamanic teacher. So I need to look back at what the message is for white buffalo. It says shape shift into the white buffalo, and the energy that this card brings will multiply tenfold. Imagine that you can feel the power in your muscles and the earth beneath your hooves. Feel the weight of your horns and the warmth of your hide. This calls the deeper energies of white buffalo into your life. It's to do with abundance and security flowing into your life. All things are possible. Balance and harmony prevail, and you may be called upon to stand up for others, but you can do this because you have the support of many beings in the spirit realm. And it says in Native American traditions, there are prophecies about the coming of the white buffalo, especially among the Lakota, Dakota and Nakota. There's a legend that the white buffalo calf woman, a mystical being, came to the people a very long time ago when they were out of balance. She gifted the people with a sacred bundle containing the white buffalo calf pipe to help restore the balance. And upon leaving, the white buffalo calf woman prophesies that she will return at the end of an age, and that she will appear as a white buffalo calf. And in recent times, white buffalo calves have been born, leading many to believe that this is the beginning of a new time. So we are at the end of an old age, and we are at the beginning of a new age. And look at these animals. Look at how solid they are. Look at how grounded they are. Look at how strong they are. To be that strong, you have to have fire in your belly. You have to have belief in yourself. You have to have motivation. That white buffalo in particular, well, both of them, but I'm particularly called to look at the white buffalo. There's just something very earthy as well as we move into the Taurian energy in April as well. Very of the earth. And both very quite masculine energies as well. The Dream Traveller feels as though it's a card which talks about flow, which I've just been talking about. We have to flow through these times. There are difficulties at the moment in your life, I know that. There are difficulties in this world at the moment, I know that. There are difficulties in my life at the moment, I know that. We have to flow through it. We have to dig deep into our own reserves. We have to find the fire energy that is available to us at any moment. We have to draw down the energy from the sun. I was very drawn today to also bring in an Egyptian energy to this video. I know I've had a past life in Egypt, and I'm sure many of you have as well. And when the sun came out again today, I just naturally linked into that heritage. A time and a lifetime where we all would have honoured the sun and understood the power of the sun and brought its energy into our body and conserved it as well. A bit like the polar bear. The polar bear can go months without food, and it conserves its strength and its energy. And it's very similar to really living in the Northern Hemisphere, because we go months without sunshine. I mean, we do, of any real strength or warmth anyway. But when it's there, you have to go out in it, you have to embrace it, and you conserve it, okay? You feed that pit within yourself, the fire pit. And it's never going to go out because Metatron won't allow it to go out, your flame, your fire energy. But you do need to tend to it. So on a day like this, you've got to be out in it. Okay, so those three cards. Let's pull three from another deck now. That's interesting. The other one on the bottom of the pack, I will just show this because look at that, it's rather beautiful. Spirit Keeper of the South, the sunshine. So of course the Southern Hemisphere holding that beautiful light and warmth for us. And maybe we need to do a bit of an exchange energetically more than we do. You know, there are people in the South, there are people in the Southern Hemisphere who crave the coolness and the greyness and the rain that I talk about. I'm linking particularly to South Africa at the moment, I don't know whether you've still got it, I think you probably have, but there's been terrible drought there, and water restrictions, you know, there isn't the water's not there. Drought, heat, too much of a good thing, you know, we've got too much of it the other way. So it's like you need to send some of your heat energy to us, your warmth, the sun, the fire energy, and we need to send some of this cool, watery energy to you. And I think we can do that. You know, I think we are able to do that. We can do anything with intention, with the power of prayer. We're not helpless beings just sort of staggering around in the dark at the mercy of everything. The elements at the end of the day are part of us, just as much as anything else is part of us. And so again, the more that we can balance the elements within ourselves, then the more balanced and at peace the world is going to be. But I also do think, you know, I'm an angel teacher, so at the end of the day, one of the first things that happens when there's a crisis in the world is I naturally will send the angels to there. Okay, so whether it's Syria, whether it's to, you know, South Africa in need of water, wherever it is, it's just something that naturally comes to me, and I'm sure it does you as well. You see something on the news, you send the angels there. The angels have to be given the command as well a lot of the time, because it's human free will on this planet. They have to be asked, they have to be directed somewhere. But in the same way that we can do that with angels, which are, at the end of the day are an energy of light, we can also do that with the elementals as well. We can send the elementals to areas of the world that need our help, okay? And I think we're all being called to do that. Right, let's pull some cards for... which deck shall I use? I'm tempted to use both of them, actually. I'm going to just pull a couple of tarot cards for April. And I'm using the After Tarot here. Just quite like their energy at the moment. It's funny, actually, the After Tarot deck, I don't know who did them. This is what they look like. Okay, After Tarot. In a weird way, I've been trying to soften these cards up for about a year. I've had them in my home for about a year. And when I say soften them up, they've got a very, they feel as though they've got quite a masculine energy to me, more so than other tarot decks. And I've had all sorts of crystals on top of them, and I don't know, I've just been trying to, it's the only way I can put it, put a maybe more gentle energy into them, because they're quite, I don't know, they just feel quite hard. As that one falls out, and it's the energy of the moon. That's exactly what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to put the moon's energy into them, which is the soft feminine energy. Funny. But they won't. It's like, no, they are what they are. You know, you have to work with them. So let's pull 3 from the After Tarot. Well, there's one that's come up. Interesting. Let's just shuffle again. I want ones that naturally fall out. The one that just fell out upside down is the High Priestess. So that's us in a confusion and a muddle. You know, the High Priestess is where we are completely linked into our own intuition, and we can see where we're going. We're in touch with our spiritual gifts and our powers. And at the moment, particularly next to the moon, we're not. You know, we're confused, we're addled, we're not sure, we're doubting ourselves. We're lacking this fire energy that needs to come in. Okay, those two together, a very powerful message of everything being upside down at the moment. Okay, what goes with those then? Let's have another 2 cards, Metatron. Those 2. Well, he keeps coming out all the time at the moment, the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is the fast-moving fire energy. You know, he is like the knight that roars into your life. And that could be a spirit guide. It could be Metatron. It could be a physical person that comes in. Metatron, I always say, and you know, he doesn't mind me saying this, but he'll give you a kick up the backside when you need a kick up the backside. And he does to me often, okay? He will allow you, of course, to process what you're going through. And if you're in a sloth-like, low energy state and you're meant to be there and you're meant to be experiencing something and learning from it, of course, he will stand back and allow that process. But beyond, but what am I trying to say? But when it gets to the point that you're wallowing in it, okay, and we've gone into self-pity mode, he'll give you a kick up the backside. Okay, he will. So it could be spirit that is doing that, giving you a shove, bit of a wake-up call, or just a shove to get going again. Or it could be somebody that comes into your life who does that, you know, somebody who, and that Metatron's also saying to me, this can also come in via somebody who maybe pushes your buttons, who triggers you, you know, who says something that you don't agree with, that you get angry about. You know, again, the fuel to get you out of stagnation. Along the lines of, I mean, I've seen it a lot on YouTube myself recently. And I've also watched a few other teachers. Alice and Co, the event lady, she did a response video to a criticism that she's got because the event didn't happen in April. And, you know, I completely got what she was saying. And she said something along the lines of, you know, anybody that is giving me criticism, I'm using it to actually, you know, get myself down the gym, is what she was saying. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, you make me angry because I know what you're saying isn't the truth. So I go down the gym and I burn it off, you know, and I improve my body via doing that. I thought that was great. Absolutely great reaction. To me, when I've had criticism, particularly recently, it's made me dig very deep and question, am I right? Am I doing the right thing? And I've come back 100% and thought, yeah, I bloody well am doing the right thing, and I'm going to keep going. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. It's given me the fire energy. It's given me that strength in my belly. Metatron was reminding me this morning that I remember in the early days on my YouTube channel, I would get, you know, you always get criticism. And there was one in particular I remember, and she was really, really critical, this woman, and very personal. And I tried to reply and say something nice, and of course didn't want to listen, just came back with a load more negativity. And I remember I blocked her. And I remember thinking, oh dear, I wonder what she's going to think about the fact that I've blocked her. Now it's like, what were you thinking, Amanda? You know, why were you giving that person so much power? Who cares what she thinks about the fact that you've blocked her? She was being downright unpleasant and negative and horrible. Why would you want her in your energy space? You know? So again, it could be something that comes into your life where somebody says something and you know, you just have to go a bit deep and you think, is that the truth? Maybe it will be, but 9 times out of 10 it isn't. And it gives you that fire to come back stronger than ever, okay? So, yeah, Knight of Wands, he just feels like this energy that's coming in to give you a push, to get you out of this confusion and this muddle. We want these the right way up. And of course, the moon, we've got a new moon coming up in Aries, haven't we? Is it about the 15th, something like that, of this month? I think it's the 15th of April. I feel as though by the time we get to that new moon, we're out of this befuddled mess that some of us have been in, to be perfectly honest. But you can get out of it much sooner by harnessing this fire energy within yourself, pulling it down into your core. Those of you that work with the Kundalini energy, work with the Kundalini energy. But for the rest of you, you know, just work with colours. Work with the warm end of the spectrum, the oranges, the reds, the golds, the yellows. Pull them down into your body. Where does your body need those colours? Maybe you need those colours in your aura, you know. But those people that are feeling flat, that's what you need to be doing. The other card that comes out here is the 8 of Cups. And it came up upside down, so in a challenging position. And this is the one where, well, it's a card of sadness, basically. It's a card of grief. There is a lot of grief. There's a lot of sadness around at the moment. Some of the endings are quite painful. Maybe you're having to walk away from somebody or something. And that thing about going out of comfort zone, it's difficult. It's difficult. But, you know, here the lady, she's looking at the cup. She's longing for the love to return. There's 2 cups that are on the floor empty. She's not paying attention to all the other cups that are upright, that are still there, you know. The people that are still on her side, the positive energies that are still around her. She's focusing on her loss. It was in an upside down position. And somebody's walking away from her. I think that's happening to a lot of us at the moment. It doesn't have to be romantic, it can be, but it can also be to do with friends and associates. Seems to be a time where a lot of people are reassessing who they want in their life. And you might find that you're one of the people that they don't want in your life. You see that a lot on social media. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. You know, you go and look at a profile of a friend, maybe you haven't heard from them for a while, and you think, oh, okay, they've unfriended me. Oh, okay, I wonder what I did. But, you know, let them go. Let them go. You don't resonate with them anymore. It's fine. There'll be other people that do resonate with you. But equally, maybe you're having to do that to people as well. Maybe you're having to unfriend people. Maybe you're having to block people. Maybe just having to let people go from your life. I know you are, because I know it's happening as an energy that's out there at the moment. But again, don't focus on the loss. Let them go. You know, the person that's leaving is striding off there into the distance. And don't be the woman that's just, you know, feeling sorry for herself and lost. And look at all those beautiful cups. And cups represent emotional happiness that are full and upright, wanting to be looked at. Okay? Okay, that deck. I wanted to pull a couple of Ascended Master cards just to see who's around us. Keepers of the Light by Carl Gray. Let's see who's coming forward this April in particular to be with us and to help us through these days. Who's with us? El Mariah. I'm laughing because somebody sent me a message about El Mariah yesterday. I can't access it here because I don't have Messenger on my phone. Anyway, she knows who she is. El Mariah, awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. And it's funny, I'm pretty sure El Mariah is like a world teacher. The thing about, before I pulled him though, before that card came out, is I actually felt that they were all with us. It was almost like I was just feeling this huge umbrella of masters that are around all of us at the moment. I think they appreciate that it's a bit tricky at the moment. I really do believe that the second half of the year is going to be easier. I just think we've got to get through this first half. So El Mariah, awakening presence. Again, that energy here. You see? The dodecahedron. Can you see that? There? That is the dodecahedron. And that came up in the Easter video that I put out. Can't remember what card it was. Somebody had them in, was holding them in both, had dodecahedron in both palms. The dodecahedron, there it's on his heart. But more usually it's linked to the throat. It's linked to the throat chakra. And his energy is very blue as well. What does the card say about him? El Mariah. Indian guru, master. Now able to remove any energy from our life that is not serving our connection to God. Wonderful guide to call on if we are unsure if something is real or not. Spiritual protection. Helps you detach from drama. Well, you must be working with Metatron a lot then. Remember that within you there is a mighty soul light. Allow that light to shine through your entire being. Then call on El Mariah and his angels to surround you in a light that will keep you safe on all levels. Also know that facing fears and seeing the truth will strengthen your connection to the universal life force. Yeah, this fire energy, this sun energy, it's life force energy. Those of you that are feeling muddled, flat, stagnant, we've got to get back into the flow of life. And it's just a bit of fear that's come up, you know. It's like life suddenly feels quite big and the opportunities out there are big, and the energies are just very, very strong, and some of us have just gone a little bit into fear mode, but it'll be okay. And then the next card is Ashtar. galactic help as well. So we haven't just got angelic help, we've got galactic help coming in. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk, call to action. I tell you what, we've got the big guns here. We've got Metatron, we've got Ashtar, and we've got El Mariah. I mean, they're a powerful three, I tell you. They are a powerful three. And again, I don't know much about El Mariah. I know quite a bit about Ashtar. He comes through very much with a masculine energy. Metatron does have a more masculine energy. Oh, okay. Maybe it's also, I think, to do with the fact that the divine feminine is, you know, on her way, the energy, but there also needs to be an uprising of the divine masculine energy. So we need to heal this masculine energy within ourselves. We're scared of it. Well, a lot of people are scared of their masculine energy. I have to say I'm not. I've always been quite okay with my masculine energy. I'm quite, I'd say I'm far more familiar with my masculine energy than my feminine energy. But I do know that a lot of people don't like to access the depths of their masculine energy because it is the doing, active energy. When you dip into that, again, you can't be stagnant. You have to go for it. You want to go for it. I have felt this. It is interesting because, you know, I feel like I'm supposed to be sitting here talking about the divine feminine energy because of the age that we're in, but I'm really feeling the masculine energy at the moment. I know it's because I'm sitting right beside this picture of fire. I am aware of that. But I've been feeling it for a good few months, just this surge of masculine energy coming in. But it makes sense because at the end of the day, if we're trying to change the world and we're trying to move forward, you need that masculine push. You need that thrust. Thrust is a good word, actually. Thrust, takeoff, lift off. The rocket, you know, it needs the fuel underneath it. Healing the masculine wounds. It's funny actually because I'm the first live, you know, Metatron level 1 workshop I'm doing for quite a few years. I'm doing in Dublin in June, and it happens to fall on Father's Day. And I felt for a while that as well as the level 1 work, we're going to be looking at healing some masculine wounds via Archangel Metatron, who is this beautiful masculine energy as a guide. And I've often felt as a very fatherly energy, you know, and it's like he's coming to teach us and help us, those of us that have had wounding on our masculine energy. Okay. All right, let's go back to the sprays and just close this off then. And shall I just bring in Uriel, because Archangel Uriel is very much connected into all this fire energy as well. Let's see what Uriel has to say. And funny that I just want to spray in a line down my body, okay? Linked into all of the chakras, receiving that fire energy. So Archangel Uriel, and straight away, wow, I can just feel the energy just going whoo, right up there. Really, it's like expansion of light. And he's just asking you to imagine that you are standing in a pillar of light. A pillar of light and fire. Holy fire. And this is connecting you all the way up to source. And this pillar of fire and light is connecting you to source, and it's also connecting you to earth. And you're just feeling these two energies of fire and light and earth. I'm just seeing this beautiful pillar, like this tube that we've been put into. And it's like a test tube. And it's as though Spirit is just mixing up the correct combination and mix of fire, light and earth that you need in your own physical body right now for this time here on earth. And some of you are depleted in earth energy, some of you are depleted in fire energy, some of you have got too much fire energy, some of you have got too much earth energy, and we're just getting the mix right for you as an individual. And just allow that to happen and feel that balance to start to come back. And the chakras and the parts of you that need to be grounded, allow that to happen. Feel that grounding energy going into your feet, your ankles, your skeleton, your joints. And then feeling that fire energy moving into where it needs to move. It's going to be different for everybody. I'm seeing fire energy going into some people's throats. I'm seeing a flame above some people's heads. Fire energy in your belly, in your base chakra, wherever it is that you need it. And just feel the fire energy and the earth energy within you. Okay, and then feeling that pillar of light just move away from you so that the energy is within you now. You also just take 3 nice deep breaths of air in, breathing in air, breathing out air, breathing in air, breathing out air. One more time, breathing in air, breathing out air, feeling that in your lungs and your heart. And then just feeling the water within your body and sending the water in your body a message of peace and balance and health. Let the waters within your body hear that you are healthy, happy, balanced, well. I am happy, balanced, healthy, well. I am happy, balanced, healthy and well. I am happy, balanced, healthy and well. All of the water within you, within your organs, within your skin, within your bladder, balanced and whole. And then feeling your feet upon the earth and your roots down into Mother Earth. Also feeling that connection now to the wider cosmos, universal light, galactic energies. You are a child of the universe, and you are a child of the earth, and you have the elements within all of you. And then just on an out breath that's comfortable to you, take a nice deep breath and you open your eyes. Feels better. and the sun comes out and pours into the room. Okay. Just see if there's one more message from fire, but I think we're virtually done. Don't be frightened of fire. Don't be frightened of the emotions that it creates within you. The fire energy is taking me back to the start of the video where I played you the Arthur Brown song. And it's almost like go back and re-listen to that and connect to it. And expand into it. Feel comfortable around fire. Everything in this universe, Metatron is saying, is dualistic. Everything has both a positive side and a more challenging side. And fire is no different to that. It's all about getting the balance. Those of you that do have rising fire energy that's out of balance, whether that's being angry, feeling vengeful, whatever it is, maybe just use this time before the Aries new moon to really consciously try and get it out of yourself. However you need to do that, whether it's playing music, having a good dance, going for a run, going for a swim, beating up a pillow, not anybody else. Whether it's writing it down, painting, whatever it is, get it out of your body. It's your imbalance. Nobody else needs to be affected by it. And that's about taking responsibility, not lashing out at somebody else, not being violent or aggressive through speech or through bodily movement. It's through owning it, dealing with it, allowing it to flow, using it constructively, channeling it into something constructive. Much love, everyone. I shall speak to you again, I'm sure, before the month is out. I think that's it for today. I'm going to get out in the sun. Much love. As I said, the painting, it'll be in the description box below. The sprays that I use are all on my shop. We make them, amandaellis.co.uk, and I'll also put the card decks that I've been using today in the description box as well. Thank you. Bye bye.